It's 10:23, so we're going to move into some stuff. Let's get right into this Terminator thing. I want to talk about this Terminator.
Yeah.
Start with the trailer. Because you guys
Did you guys like it?
Well, that's kind of the
Let's
point.
talk about it.
I'm going to guarantee you one thing.
What?
Inside of this conversation, we're going to find out if we like it. I promise.
Because you know what? The
What?
movie could be good or it could be bad.
You're right.
There you go. This is why I'm
Wait.
here, right?
Have you
Yeah.
talked to somebody? Have you heard? Do you have a source?
You're telling me that there's
This
a
is weird.
possibility that this movie might be good, or it might not be, or it might be right in the middle.
It
Unbelievable.
might make $50
Shit, there's a
million.
third option.
There's a third
too.
option. Look at him, you sassy
Very
son of a bitch.
exciting. Yeah.
Look, this is something, and I said it yesterday, and I talked about it for a while. The first one's my favorite. The 1984 is my favorite. The hint was that this was going to take a page out of the 84 and make it a little bit more of the sci-fi horror kind of movie, the simple movie, and the poster certainly showed that. I did not get that from this trailer. From this trailer, it looked to me, if I didn't know it was Tim Miller, I was like, here's another Terminator movie where they're overdoing it with the CGI, and then it's the female Terminator kicks the one Terminator and he does like a 360 flip. I'm like, come on. And like that, like we don't stop with the stunts. We don't need this. What's the story? What's the story? And like I want to focus. They focus so much in that trailer of all the big stunts,
action,
and all the shit I didn't like about the other Terminators.
Right.
It's like, what's the story? And then she comes in. She shows up. Sarah Connor shows up with blowing shit up,
Looking like a badass.
looking like
great.
a badass. She looked great. But it's like, what's the story?
Right.
Like the Terminator 1 and 2 are so great because of the story. This one just seems like and the second trailer might be very different. This is just a
Right.
teaser, but I did not like the teaser.
Well, it
and
didn't-
no music. They didn't even have the
I
Brett
know.
Finale music.
We were texting.
Actually, that's the one thing I like, the music, because it was a cover of Bjork's Hunter, and so I like that.
I
But
like the music choice, but I
No,
don't
but-
like that they didn't use Brad Fidel's theme.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so good.
We needed that just somewhere towards the end. Thank you, Cody.
Didn't feel like a Terminator.
It's
It felt like
so
it's a
good.
different movie. I was bummed by this trailer.
I was really bummed too because
Yeah.
this, if you tell me that it's ignoring all the other movies, okay, I get it. We're the sweaties. We're like cool.
Yeah.
If you didn't tell me that, this would look like just another
Just another one.
Terminator.
And you just asked the question, how did she come back?
I have seen this
Yeah.
trailer in the Terminator franchise over and over again, and it's always the same
Yeah, I'm
thing.
bummed by
Here's
this
a
trailer.
different Terminator.
Yeah, it was-
Here's a new, updated version of
Yeah.
a Terminator, and because we have these movies that we've seen, Genesis and Salvation and all these ones. So now you're showing me this again. I don't get
No,
that
I think it would
it's...
be so much more impactful if
Yeah.
we would have done something along
I
the
was
lines.
so
Go back to like
disappointed.
the '84 thing where it's just a raw, like almost like what they do with like John Wick and how like it's
Right.
Yeah.
like just the raw action that particular way of just a menacing one Terminator who's just a badass. You don't
Yeah.
need all the CGI and he's
The
coming through like a
airplanes
spider
and the
all that
truck
shit.
and
Come
like that. But
on.
I did hear
reminded me
though.
of Genesis.
Yeah, well, I
It
did
really
hear
did.
that apparently the footage that was shown at CinemaCon actually did get people really
I heard
excited,
that too.
and it was very different than what they showed on the trailer. So I wonder if that's just like marketing being like, go come see the fun like summer movie or whatever, and not
Yeah.
really showing
It
us
totally
the
is.
story. Because at the same time too, I honestly like kind of don't want to know the story until I watch the movie. Like that's how I feel about trailers now. So I'd rather them not give too much away. But you're right that it was just like, look at all these action scenes that we've already done in the
Right.
shitty Terminator movies.
There's certain times sometimes when you don't have to show a story trailer or too much of the story because we're already in. For example, Endgame. Show us a little bit. Show us because we know enough about Infinity War to where we're going to go because we're already kind of locked in. Terminator, right now where they are in the franchise, has lost us
Right.
as far as a dedicated audience.
You got to grab us again.
I need to know what the story is. I need to know why this is so different than the other ones that weren't working. And you're right. And I said it before, this is a teaser, and then the next one in the more elaborate story one, I might go, okay, I feel so much better. And it's very possible that it will say that. Just blasting out of the gate with this thing, showing me everything I didn't like about the other Terminator movies, that's what this seemed like to me.
Except for the scenes with the characters, right? Like
Right,
the action scenes,
right.
I was like, but like I did get excited when I saw Sarah Connor show up
Oh,
and
yeah,
start
I did
shooting up,
too.
the
And I was like,
different-
oh, this is taking off. I
Yeah.
like it. And then
I
they-
also like Mackenzie Davis, by the way.
I like
She's
Mackenzie
too.
Davis. I like everybody in the cast, and I
Yeah.
like some of those quiet moments and getting Linda Hamilton. And I'm intrigued when Arnold comes out, and I'm like, ooh, what is he? Is he old Terminator or whatever?
Right.
It's always around the Terminator
Right.
effects, and it's always around that every single Terminator movie since T2, we've gotten an advanced Terminator and then another one.
Right.
And now I see this thing, and I'm like, there's nothing these fucking Terminators can't do.
It's just
Like
the
now
same-
he can
yeah.
multiply. I like that in theory. It's just because of the baggage of these Terminator movies is what really kind of stuck with me, and I should let that go. But
yeah, it's hard. The first Terminator was so good because it was simple.
But also,
it was simple.
But I also love the second one. Like I love it a lot.
T2
but I think it's such a good action movie because it can be like I think halfway through the movie it's very subtle in the action, right? Like I think he's the scariest one we've had. Like
Robert Patrick.
Yeah. I was terrified of him as a kid when I saw the movie, right? Because but it was all much more subtle, much slow moving. Like it's not these like grandiose I mean, granted the CG usually looks bad on trailers because it's not finished, but it doesn't look scary to me.
No, because you've seen it so many different times and it just seems like look what we can do now with CGI. It's like no, because what you're talking about Robert Patrick when the blade comes out, it was
so cool.
Because it was part of the story. It wasn't just to show I mean, yes, it was to show off the special effects because it was so revolutionary at the time and nobody was doing that. But it also fit. It also fit everything that was going on with this brand new Terminator. I think that it would behoove them to go back and be as simple. I don't want to save the money. Go back and be as simple as possible, Stan Winston style, and go as simple as possible. And that's what I was hoping for. And I was really bummed out that this is just a special effects parade in the first trailer.
Right. So and again, like everybody that I know that was at CinemaCon was disappointed that this was what they came up with because they really liked the other footage.
That's good.
So we'll see.
I mean, I did hear amazing stuff about the footage at CinemaCon. So that's why I was so surprised because I was like, when I watched the trailer, the teaser this morning, I was like, what were they raving about? Like what were they so excited about?
And didn't they get like kind of cutout scenes, like kind of so you can feel the tone, you can feel the character, you can feel some of the dialogue.
Yeah, this wasn't it. This was just the beginning.
Can you call Frosty in here? Because Frosty saw that stuff. I know he's out there. I'd like to see if we can get Frosty in here for a little bit because if we can talk to Frosty and see how he felt, I want to see if he loved this trailer because he raved about the footage.
Yeah.
So if he loved both, then we're in trouble because sometimes I'm on the opposite page with him when it comes to certain things that he loves. But if he thinks what you're saying, like this is a bummer that they showed this first because that's not what it is, then I'm going to have higher hopes.
Yeah, hopefully, because like you said, it's a good cast, and it's I am excited that it's a continuation.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh, hey.
Just swing that over, throw the heads
nice
on.
Shirt, dude.
Steve Frosty Weintraub, the creator of Collider, is joining us right now, and just throw those cans on if you would, sir. So, Frosty, I don't know if the teaser trailer for Tim Miller's Terminator came out this morning. I'm going to tell you my take on the teaser because I know you were at CinemaCon. You saw all the footage, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good. So I didn't like it. I've been looking forward to this movie. I've been looking forward so much because I was looking more for the simplistic, story-driven Terminator that we've been missing for so long. And what I got in this teaser was a special effects nightmare. I thought that this trailer was just full of special effects and was everything wrong with the Terminator movies that we've been having. But all the raving reviews of the Terminator footage from what we're hearing is that people that were at CinemaCon said this is not the tone that we saw. This is different. Do you feel that way, or do you think it was on par with what you saw?
Well, here's the thing. They're really trapped. It's a very difficult movie to market because you have to not only sell people on another Terminator movie, you got to take the bad taste out of their mouth of the last few. How do you educate the average person that this movie does not take place after the last one, that this is actually after Terminator 2.
Right.
So they have a big challenge in front of them. The footage we saw at CinemaCon was slower and more,
good.
It was full scenes.
Good.
Yeah.
And those scenes, when they played out, were awesome. And the problem with this trailer is it's selling spectacle rather than character and rather than moments.
But there is character and moments from what you saw.
Well, let me backtrack.
Please.
And again, I haven't seen this footage since March.
Okay.
So this is going to be, a little. But the footage I remember. So in the trailer that you see today, when she gets out of the bridge sequence, from what I understand, I didn't do a set visit, so I can freely say this. It's part of a huge 20-minute set piece.
Cool.
That's either the tail end of it or that's part of the 20-minute set piece. So from what I understand, that sequence is insane, and it culminates with Linda Hamilton, I think, showing up on the bridge.
And that's in the trailer, right?
Right, and doing what she does. But the footage that I loved was Mackenzie Davis, we basically see it's very quiet. It's at night. It's in, I think, Mexico City, and we're on a bridge, and the bubble forms like from the first
The time
Terminator,
traveler.
and the bubble forms in the middle of the bridge, and she sort of falls to the ground. And at this moment, when we saw it there, we didn't know that that she's essentially playing a Terminator.
Right.
And so when she falls to the ground, we're like, oh my God, she just got killed.
Right.
And then we see these like she swims over. There's these kids making out. Cops are accosting them. She comes over and kicks their ass with these insane moves. And it's about them talking. And it just, the way it was filmed, it felt like it existed in the same universe as Terminator and Terminator 2. It did not feel like, let's use the term garbage that came after. It was.
Let's use the term garbage.
But I mean, it felt like it was part of the James Cameron universe.
Okay,
and when we saw other sequences on the bridge, yeah, we saw action, but we saw more quiet moments too. And then it showed a montage at the end of the trailer. You see those planes and what's happening. And in the footage we saw, it went on way longer, and we were all like jaw on ground because it was this massive airplane set piece.
Right.
And going further, I got to interview Linda Hamilton at CinemaCon. The interview's on Collider. If you go into the trailer on Collider and go to the bottom, you can actually click on the link. And she said that she couldn't understand what Tim Miller was trying to do with the action. She had to look at the previs and talk to him because it was so complicated. And so I firmly believe that the trailer is not selling what this movie is going to be.
That's good. That makes me feel good.
And do you think that that's because it's the way they're, trailers are edited sometimes, or they're really like, this was a trailer that's trying to hook the mass audiences that aren't even like big fans of the franchise like we are, right? Where exactly, where it's like, oh, it's just going to be a fun action movie that's related to Terminator.
Listen, I think all of us, it's like the finale of Game of Thrones. You're never going to please everyone.
Right.
And the problem with this Terminator trailer is that it is really focusing on the spectacle and on Linda Hamilton being back. And look, I mean, it's easy to say. For me, I actually like when trailers do these avant-garde weird things.
Same.
Because it's, we all know these trailers. Like we all, and I would love to have seen, even, again, this is me just spitballing, but like even Linda Hamilton just looking at the camera, being like, explaining that.
What happened?
Well, explaining that this is not the Terminator you're expecting. I'm back. Takes place after Terminator 2, like telling the audience at the camera straight away what this movie is, and be like, here's a look at the movie for you to get excited by.
That's an interesting thing that maybe movie studios should do.
Well, I mean,
instead of
Tom
showing
Holland
just
did it.
the trailer.
Tom Holland did it, and in the beginning he didn't do that particular thing, but he said, just to let you know, don't watch this because there's spoilers for Endgame,
That's
and
right.
it relates into Endgame. And it was very effective, and I think that a lot of people went, well, I'm not going to watch this now, or I'm cool, I saw it already.
I mean, for me, with a Star Wars trailer, like, and I've said this for years, but like, we're all going to go see Star Wars, right? Everyone's going. I would love the first trailer or the first teaser just be like a fireplace. There's two chairs. The camera dollies in slowly. And all of a sudden, it turns to the right, and it's J.J. Abrams. And he's like, hi, I'm J.J. Abrams. I made a new Star Wars movie. It's coming out at Christmas. We don't want to spoil anything. I'm going to show you a few quick looks. Movie's kind of good.
Yeah.
Boom. You see like a quick few shots. Star Wars Rise of this, like whatever.
Yeah.
But like again, weird shit that is not being
and
done.
not so much, because I felt like this trailer was also, as much as a teaser, like the action sequences did go too long.
I just didn't. For me, again, I like the simple. The action that works is the stuff that is not over the top. Like, and it's one of the problems I have with Cobra Kai season 2. Right? It's like when someone gets kicked, they flip 7 times in the air, and it's like
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but it's still, I
still haven't seen it.
But I'm talking about for even the Terminator, when the one Terminator kicks the other Terminator, instead of him just getting pushed back. Like when Arnold fought the T-1000 in that mall. They grabbed each other, and they were throwing each other against the wall, and it was just these two powerful forces just causing chaos. But one of them didn't get kicked and then flipped 75 times in the air. It's like we get that you can do that and it's cool, but it takes me out of it because it's just that's a coordinated scene.
I'm going to say something real quick, and I want to be very careful as I say this, but if I have spoken to anybody who knew anything about the new Terminator movie, I would say that they were very happy.
Yeah.
So I am willing to go out on
Me too. I am too.
And again, listen, Tim is a really, really smart guy.
Yeah.
And he did.
I love Deadpool.
I bet you he didn't like the trailer. I bet you if you asked him, I bet you he didn't like the trailer.
Well, again, I always think less is more. And the problem is, look, there's going to be 3 trailers before this is done.
Yeah.
The next one's
Right.
going to sell the story.
Right.
This sold spectacle. Next will sell story.
Right.
Next one will be a mix of the two. And remember, these VFX shots that they put in this trailer, this is all still
Right.
very, like, you finish these shots for the trailer.
I didn't have any problems with the effects.
Well,
Like,
people
the
always
effects
complain
looked
about
pretty.
it.
Are they
No, no.
complaining?
No,
they're
But
like,
I know they're not finished.
I think they're
Yeah.
very close to done, but they're
Yeah.
not done. Like, look at Sonic.
But usually
You
that's
know?
how post-production goes. Like
Yeah.
they show a trailer and the CG's never going to look as good as it's going to look in the movie in a
All right.
trailer.